Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Top Tarot Trumps, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Strength card. And this is one card that, of course, resonates very deeply with me. I do have a lot of fire in my chart. I am a Leo sun, and so naturally I've put some energy into reflecting on this card and how it represents the sun sign of Leo. And so I will share a little bit about that and talk specifically to some of these individual cards and how I feel they represent strength. And so welcome back, and welcome if you are new. My name is Sadhana, and I will be more regular on YouTube. I've just been taking a bit of break for my own health and recovery, and this one little hour in the morning I seem to be able to manage. So thank you all for your patience and understanding as I pick myself up again. Good morning, Amelia. Namaste. And good evening to you, I should say. I wanted to start with the card that is in the center top. And this little card, this deck, I believe all the cards are horizontal. It is called the Low Rider Dachshund Tarot. It was gifted to me by the creator some years ago. And there's some very endearing cards in this deck. I would say this is a brilliant deck for grief work. It just really taps into the heart space. And Leo is all about the heart space. And there's this really interesting sort of conjunction, I don't know if that's the right word, between solar plexus energy and heart chakra energy. And I want to talk about that as well too. But this little dachshund that is wearing the dragon costume. Sometimes we do need to put on a hat or a cape or a particular necklace for protection, maybe a wrist mala. It might be a particular color of lipstick. I don't know what it is, but once we put that on, we know that we're good to go. And it gives us just that little bit of something that says, I can do this. No matter I can do this, no matter how tired or uncertain I am feeling. Now, why I'm touching on this is because sometimes, you know that old adage, fake it until you make it? It really is true, especially when we are trying to rewrite old patterns. And we're trying to heal some aspect of the heart or the solar plexus. And this is not fake, it's not phony, it's not an act. It's a tool. It's a tool. So when you look at these cards and you reflect on strength, and sometimes it comes up in the most inappropriate of moments in a reading. It's like, yeah, right. Where am I going to find that? How I just can't dig deep right now. I don't have the energy to dig deep. Sometimes just finding that little edge to help you can make all the difference in the world. We don't all have the courage of a warrior. And the dragon just on the right here with the warrior, this is from the manga tarot. I've shown a few cards from this deck. I have the box here, I'll show you. I am, after each episode, going back and linking the decks below, just in case you're interested. This is the manga tarot. It's an older deck by Lo Scarabeo. And so many things come to mind here. So I want to talk about taming your inner dragons. And this was sort of a Page of Swords kind of moment that I had with the Alice Tarot, when Alice was placed in the Page of Swords as slaying the Jabberwocky. And this is a slightly different nuance here. But these, see, the thing with this solar plexus is that these inner dragons can destroy us as well as build us up. And so learning how to manage our inner dragon, learning how to embrace and love and live with our inner dragon is so very, very important. And that, if you think about the Crowley Tarot or Crowley inspired tarots, or some of the more sexual tarots, comes out as this really creative and beautiful sort of sexual power that emerges as our strength. And this comes in all kinds of forms, and I'm open to, any of these decks. I find some of the Crowley inspired decks really, I don't have one on the table today, really empowering. And so this power is about finding your inner resource that supports your vitality, that supports your journey. Fire is so much about your journey and your path, and deeply connected to the suit of wands. And so anyway, just some random thoughts. So we have the Low Rider Dachshund, and then we have the manga. And then on the right is Tarot of the Hidden Realm. And there's some really beautiful, the artwork in this deck is simply gorgeous. And I can see here the possibility of finding companionship and company with a wolf pack, especially if you were living off-grid, you were living out in nature. This is a Fae deck after all, right? There is, and I'm taking this card literally, right? So we can find strength. It's not about taming the inner beast. It's about this mutual energy that we share. And if you think about that lemniscate sign that's often on this card, right? I think about that symbol in this card as one of this mutual understanding of how we can support, protect, strengthen one another. Hi, Helen. Welcome. Thank you for your kind words. Yes, and I'm looking at Amelia's comment. Sometimes if you don't have great upload speed, it can take forever to upload. And then there's yet another stage of processing videos. So I understand. Okay. And so if I compare that with this one, so this is the pagan other worlds. And I just think of bear energy, and I don't know if this would ever be possible. I think about the character in, it was a Brad Pitt movie. Hopefully the name will come to me. And he had his character's name was Tristan, and he had a relationship with a great bear, and in the end he died honorably with the bear that had sort of haunted him his whole life. And I just think how powerful bears are. I mean, all the animals that are figured in these cards are very strong animals. To actually tame, to live with a bear is quite unimaginable. But I'm overwhelmed by the beauty of this card and the choice of color, right? The white and the black. It's so symbolic, and I think it's a really artistically beautiful card. Yeah. Om Durga, Durga, Durga Tishamani, Durga Padvini Varani. Durga is in the lovely Om Tarot, astride the tiger, as she often is. And Durga is a slayer of our demons. And if we can embrace the energy of Durga, we can find a way to be in the world without carrying the baggage of our demons. And Durga has many, many arms, and on each arm there is a different tool to slay. I mean, ultimately this is about slaying our ego. But we take this in steps, we take this in stages, and excuse me, I just need to move my dog. She's about to blast. Sorry about that. It is, there's a mantra that I practice most days, 32 names of Durga, and it's a mantra that's actually prescribed only to chant 3 times. And I've often thought about that. It's like we can only take so much of this energy. The rose behind her, another powerful symbol. It could be a lotus. You might see it perhaps even as the petals of the crown chakra. It's been a while since I read the lovely Om guidebook, but this is one really beautiful, beautiful card. And to its and to the right of that is the Herb Crafter, and I really like this card. I really like this deck a lot. There you see the sweetness of the honey and the rajas of the garlic. The garlic can be very purifying. It can also be really intense. And I just think this combination of the beauty of the garlic braid, and the honey and the garlic scapes that are weaving around on the table, I just think this is a brilliant piece of art. And it's not so different. I mean, we have this is the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and if you can think of beekeepers. There might be another profession that comes to mind. But there comes this place, and I suppose this might be true in many of these other cards, that when the animal being knows your energy, and when you have been in contact, when you have been in regular union with another animal, your frequency will begin to change. This is so true of humans as well too, that when we come together, we tend to it just brings the common denominator tends to come out and come forward. And when I think of this deck, and when I think of people that work with animals, in mindful way. I think about how healing this experience is for the human and how natural that it should be. Yeah. John Bauer is just to the one card over here. You may have seen this illustration in a children's book. And I think of moments where the great bear actually pauses and has a moment itself and decides not to consume the human, not to kill the human, but turn and run or simply pause and gaze. And that movie I was talking about with the Tristan character and the bear, you feel that kind of tension, that knowing. And maybe this is what speaks to some of the Crowley-inspired decks, and that is, I want to know my inner beast. Sorry, I don't know why that went out of focus for a sec. I want to know my inner beast, and I want to let my inner beast free me, because there is a sense of freedom when we don't dampen down the energy of the inner beast, and we let the inner beast dance in harmony with the rest of us. And all of these cards are, all of the tarot is asking us to harmonize our life, to find peace and to find balance. And whether you see this card as an 8th arcanum or 11th arcanum, there's some really brilliant ways to look at it. And as the 11th arcanum, it has that quality of honoring and recognizing our power and our strength. It's like a card of softness and strength. The more we soften, the more our strength has an opportunity to shine through. And if you see this card as an 8th arcanum, it's something we certainly need to gather. The tarot can be divided into 3 septenaries, 777. And so as an 8th arcanum, it would be the first card of the 2nd septenary as we journey out into the world. Less of the personal journey, more of the journey in community. And this is something we need to cultivate when we're out there in the big wide world. And that is to know how to manage our strength. And not go too far, right? And end up getting sick. So, yeah, there is one other card here, and I'm going to read to you from the translated words of Margaret Peterson. And this card encapsulates so much here. We have a dragon. We have a feminine figure. And we have an energy that is coming through what looks to me like the sacral chakra, which is one where we learn to harmonize relationship. And I could talk about this particular card for a very long time. I did do a deep dive, if you're interested, of this deck on my channel, and this is truly one of my favorite decks of all time, just for its powerful, powerful energy. The left hand, look at the left hand of the figure in the card, open, and you can imagine, I don't know what you see rising up or from or something landing into the hand, but just the power is extraordinary here. So I'm going to read to you from Margaret Peterson. This is an older copy of the deck that I trimmed. There is a newer one that is available, which has lovely brown trim. It is in English. It's a 25th anniversary edition. And so this will be number 11 in this deck. Okay. Strength. Painted red, she dances in the center, surrounded by a subtle net of channels to her left and her right. In Muladhara, the spirit of fire lives in the midst of the flame. That is nourishment. She is the creative moment, like a spark in the light. Her being here, flowing, letting go of self. So this theme, there's a theme of letting go here that is really important, and it has to do with letting go of control. And in yogic terms, the solar plexus chakra, the peace and the balance with the solar plexus chakra is one of learning to trust, right? The more we cling, the more we want to control our lives, overplan our lives, the more tension there is in the solar plexus chakra and our digestion and all of the connected issues and organs. So yeah, this is about learning to let go and learning to trust. Yeah. Hello, Arya. Namaste. All right, so I'm going to pick my top 5. So Margaret Peterson is one, and Herb Crafters is one for its different perspective, and this one is one. So there we have 3. And this might seem really odd, but I think there is an important message in this card. And I invite each of you to reflect on what your dragon cape is. And know that for the time being, there is nothing wrong with donning your dragon cape. If it gives you that strength that you need. Hello, Karina. Namaste. All right, and then from these other 5, I'm going to choose one. I don't know. It's really hard. I think I might choose John Bauer. There's just something, maybe, I don't know. I need to think about this. I know there have been others where I chose. There was one other group where I chose 6. Yeah. And I love the courage that children have. I think that is so special. Hi, Janine. Welcome. And yet, I love the calm and the peace of the beekeeper. And yeah, so, all right. Well, I'm going to stick with the rules. I'm going to go with 5. And so, left to right, they are Margaret Peterson, Herb Crafter Tarot, Tarot of the Hidden Realm, John Bauer, and the unexpected wild card, Low Rider. All right, there you have it. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you for the Hanged One in the next episode. Take good care. Namaste. Thank you all.